Okay, welcome back to Planning Communication Management. Just wanted to touch on effective meetings. It's often a tool presented, and frankly, good meetings should have time limits. There should even be a timekeeper. You want to bring the right people together for a meeting. Not everybody should be invited every week just because, so they can feel important. You want to schedule recurring meetings in advance. Not too often though. You want to have a purpose. You should have an agenda with team input and stick to the agenda. The chair should lead with rules. You should start and stop on time. You can disagree with ideas, respecting each other, and you would start the next meeting by reviewing the deliverables from the agenda in the current meeting. Okay? And so there are many ways to run meetings. Here are some other ideas. In communications, again, tied to stakeholder management, the Stakeholder Register is an important piece of the communications management. You see type of communications at the center of this slide as part of the Stakeholder Register. So your stakeholder management strategy tells you how you're going to manage the stakeholders. Here is a sample communications plan that I borrowed. Star Chapter is really just a website way of collecting information and credit cards for this group called the local chapter of the Project Management Institute, the St. Louis chapter. So you have the description of the communication, who the audience is or the stakeholders, what's the purpose of it, what vehicle you're going to use, in this case Star Chapter, but later they use emails, who develops the communication, and I have replaced the original names with Seinfeld characters, the timing of the communication, who's the owner of the communication, and what is the status. And that is a good sample communications plan. So here's a quiz. I love a quiz. I call it an ability to demonstrate knowledge. How exciting. Yay! So, can the project manager control all communications? Think of a multi-year, multi-million-dollar project like the Freedom Tower Complex, 9 or 10 buildings in Manhattan. So, the answer is no, you can't control all. Now, the next question, should the project manager try to control communications? The answer is yes, try to control all communications. Project management in predictive waterfall project management is in its nature about control, defining, detailing, and control. What percentage of the project manager's time is spent communicating? Well, common understanding is 90% of your time is spent communicating. What is the formula to determine the number of communication channels? Remember, that was n times n minus 1 divided by 2. That was part of communications requirements analysis. And who is a communication channel often left out of your consideration? You are. You, the project manager, are sometimes left out. And the tests sometimes try and trick you to make sure you know that. Okay, that's all I have for this lesson. I will ask you to read, manage, and monitor communications on your own. And in Rita's book, they are fairly straightforward. And I hope you've enjoyed this week's lectures. Good luck with the assignments, and I look forward to hearing from you.